Alexander the Great, the Eternal Conqueror. In the lands where mountains pierced the sky and the sun bathed the marble palaces in gold, a boy was born who would one day change the face of the world. His name was Alexander, son of King Philip of Macedon and Queen Olympias. From his first breath, his life was shrouded in omens and whispered prophecies. He would either become the ruler of the world or destroy himself in his own greatness. Even as a child, Alexander was unlike any other. His mother, Olympias, a woman of passion and unwavering conviction, told him he descended from Achilles, the hero of the Iliad, and that divine blood coursed through his veins. King Philip, a warrior and a statesman who had transformed Macedon from a distant, fragmented kingdom into a military power, saw in his son something beyond the ordinary. "You will surpass me," he said. "Your field will be the entire world, not just Macedon." Alexander's first triumph came in a moment that seemed almost fated. At the age of 12, he tamed the wild horse Bucephalus, a beast no man had ever ridden. While others saw only danger, Alexander recognized the creature's fear of its own shadow. With patience and insight, he turned the horse toward the sun, and the animal calmed. Bucephalus became his companion through every battle, a symbol of his courage and mastery over chaos. He was educated by Aristotle, the greatest philosopher of the age. Under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander absorbed philosophy, science, medicine, and literature. Yet, it was not knowledge alone he craved. He hungered for adventure, for distant lands, for the stories of the unknown. "Knowledge is nothing without experience," he told his teacher. "I must see the world with my own eyes to understand it fully." Philip's assassination changed everything. Alexander, only 20, was thrust into the throne of Macedon. Enemies of the kingdom tested his resolve, but the young king acted swiftly and decisively. Those who questioned his rule perished. Those who remained pledged loyalty. Alexander did not merely inherit a crown. He inherited the mantle of destiny. He wasted no time. The Greek city-states, sensing weakness, tested Macedon's power. At Thebes, Alexander displayed both ruthlessness and strategy, crushing resistance and sending a warning to all of Greece. Defiance would not be tolerated. By the age of 22, he had unified Greece under his command and set his sights on the mightiest empire of his time, Persia. With 40,000 men, Alexander crossed into Asia, beginning his campaign that would become legendary. The Battle of the Granicus River was his first trial. Persian satraps had assembled to repel him, yet Alexander led a daring charge with his cavalry, throwing himself directly into the fray. The river ran red with blood, and though he was nearly struck down, his bravery inspired his men to victory. This triumph was a declaration. Alexander would not follow the path of others. He would carve his own. After Granicus, cities fell before him. Sardis and Halicarnassus opened their gates, while Tyre required a grueling siege. Alexander's mind was as sharp as his sword. He anticipated, adapted, and conquered. At Gordium, he faced the legendary Gordian knot. Where others saw a riddle, Alexander saw action. He drew his sword and cut it cleanly, a testament to his philosophy. Boldness over hesitation. Victory brought both fame and responsibility. He treated conquered peoples with a blend of respect and authority. His soldiers began to see him not only as a king but as a god among men. His charisma and fearlessness cemented loyalty and inspired devotion. The Battle of Issus in 333 BCE tested him further. Facing the enormous army of Darius III, Alexander displayed strategic genius. With a concentrated strike on the Persian center, he routed the enemy and captured the royal family with honor. He treated them with dignity, a stark contrast to the chaos of war, and his actions set him apart from ordinary conquerors. Egypt welcomed him as a liberator. In Memphis, he was hailed as pharaoh, and at the oracle of Ammon in Siwa, he was proclaimed the son of Zeus himself. Here, he founded Alexandria, a city meant to bridge cultures, a lasting monument to his vision of a new world. The Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE was the culmination of his conquest of Persia. Outnumbered by hundreds of thousands, Alexander relied on ingenuity and audacity. Under the banner of Macedon, he pierced the Persian lines and drove Darius from the field. His victory was decisive. The Persian Empire lay at his feet. Yet Alexander, ever restless, did not rest. Pushing eastward, he reached the Indus, confronting King Por of India. In a thunderous clash against war elephants and disciplined infantry, Alexander's tactics prevailed. He showed clemency to Por, earning loyalty instead of mere submission, a rare combination of ruthlessness and mercy that defined his rule. Despite these triumphs, his men grew weary. After years of relentless campaigning, they refused to march further into unknown lands. Even Alexander, the Relentless, was forced to turn back. The march home through the Gadrosian desert tested every ounce of endurance. Soldiers perished in the scorching sun, thirst and famine taking their toll. Yet Alexander shared their hardships, walking among them, drinking sparingly, showing that a king was more than a distant commander. He was one of them. Returning to Babylon, his empire stretched from the Aegean Sea to India. He sought to integrate cultures, marry his soldiers to local women, and meld Macedonian and Persian customs. Yet the seeds of discontent were sown. Many of his followers struggled with his vision of a blended empire. In 323 BCE, at the age of 32, Alexander fell ill in Babylon. For 10 days, he lingered powerless, as his generals and friends watched helplessly. His final words reflected his unyielding spirit. "To whom shall I leave my empire?" His answer, tragically, was, "To the strongest." His death marked the end of an era. The empire he built fractured almost immediately, divided among his generals, the Diadochi. Yet his legend endured. Alexander had reshaped the world, creating a bridge between East and West, spreading Hellenistic culture to the far reaches of Asia. Alexander the Great was more than a king, more than a warrior. He was a force of nature. His life embodied ambition, intellect, courage, and vision. He dreamed of uniting the world, and for a brief, brilliant moment he did. Though mortality claimed him, the echoes of his deeds resounded through centuries. He asked, "Is there a world large enough for my dreams?" The world answered in silence, for his legacy had already surpassed its boundaries.